Hello everyone, welcome to Twashta. Today we have a question from section C of CSIR Net December 2019 paper. Bacterial infections are generally divided into two broad classes, intracellular and extracellular bacterial infections. Given below are some of the properties which are applicable for bacterial infections. So there are four statements, and the question asked here is which one of the following combination of statements is correct? So let us go through each of these statements one by one and figure out if they are correct or incorrect. The first statement is humoral immune response is the main protective response against extracellular bacteria. First of all, what is humoral immunity or humoral immune response? The immune response mediated by antibodies that are produced by B lymphocytes is called humoral immune response. So now we need to know what are the effector functions of humoral immunity, also called the antibody mediated effector functions. That is, what does these antibodies do to give the humoral immune response? There are four major functions. The first one is neutralization. The antibodies can bind to these pathogens and toxins and render them incapable of binding to the host. The second function is opsonization. Opsonization means marking of the pathogen by antibodies so that it can be identified by phagocytes and ultimately lead to phagocytosis of the pathogen. The third function is activation of the complement system. Our immune system consists of certain proteins called the complement factors, which make up the complement system. Now, these complement factors can be recruited by antibodies that are bound to a pathogen or a tumor cell and ultimately lead to phagocytosis or lysis of that cell or the pathogen. And lastly, we have antibody dependent cell mediated cytotoxicity or ADCC. It is called cell mediated because here natural killer cells are involved. Antibodies bound to an infected cell or tumor cell or a bacterium can recruit these natural killer cells to perform apoptosis. I hope it is clear now that if there is an infection of extracellular bacteria, then all these functions will come into play. So, if the statement is humoral immune response is the main protective response against extracellular bacteria, then I think it is correct. Our next statement is innate immunity is not effective against intracellular bacterial pathogens. I believe that it is a fundamentally incorrect statement because innate immunity is non-specific. So the physical barriers of our epithelial layers, then the chemical barriers like the acidic pH in our stomach, lysozymes in our saliva, these all non-specifically act against all types of pathogens, be it extracellular or intracellular bacteria, be it viruses or other parasites. Also, cells infected with intracellular bacterial pathogens can be recognized and killed by natural killer cells. So, saying that innate immunity is not effective against intracellular bacterial pathogens is kind of incorrect. Our next statement is bacterial endotoxins do not induce an innate immune response. Now, first of all, what are endotoxins? Endotoxin is mainly the lipopolysaccharide or the LPS in the cell wall of gram negative bacteria. On the other hand, exotoxin is a toxin secreted by bacteria. Now, if gram negative bacteria happen to cross the epithelial barrier and enter the tissue or the blood, then phagocytic cells are the cells that provide immediate defense against these bacteria. Phagocytic cells like macrophages, neutrophils, and dendritic cells are a part of innate immunity. So they elicit cellular innate immune response. Now, phagocytes express a variety of cell surface receptors, and some of these receptors recognize conserved molecular components present on the surface of microbes. And that is how they identify the pathogens that might cause infection. Examples of such conserved patterns include cell wall components of bacteria and fungi. These conserved molecular components are called pathogen associated molecular patterns, or PAMPs. The lipopolysaccharide of gram negative bacteria is also an example of PAMPs. Now, the receptors that recognize these PAMPs are called pattern recognition receptors, or PRRs. Now, these PRRs are present on the phagocytes so that they can identify the pathogen and eliminate them. Toll-like receptor is one such PRR. It's a type of pattern recognition receptor. And toll-like receptors, or TLRs, can detect a wide variety of PAMPs including lipopolysaccharide, that is our endotoxin. So saying bacterial endotoxins do not induce an innate immune response is kind of incorrect. Our next statement is intracellular bacterial infections generally induce a cell mediated immune response resulting in secretion of cytokines which activate macrophages. So let's say here's a bacterial pathogen, and it is an intracellular bacterial pathogen, and it has infected our cell. Now, how will our immune system recognize that there is an infection? So what happens is that there is a large protein complex called proteasome which generates peptide fragments of about 12 to 15 amino acids out of this pathogen, out of this intracellular bacteria, and present it on a cell surface receptor called MHC1. It's like the cell is saying that, oh, I'm infected. Now, the bacterial antigen presented on MHC1 can be recognized by CD8 positive cytotoxic T lymphocytes, or TC cells. Remember that TC cells or cytotoxic T cells are CD8 positive, and helper T cells or TH cells are CD4 positive. These CD4 and CD8 are also cell surface proteins, and they recognize other cell surface proteins to identify what kind of cells they are. So CD8 recognizes MHC1 and CD4 recognizes MHC2. Also remember that MHC1 is present on all nucleated cells of the body, whereas MHC2 is present only on antigen presenting cells. Coming back to our cytotoxic T lymphocyte here, this TC cell also has T cell receptor on its surface through which it recognizes the antigen. So the CD8 will recognize MHC1 and the T cell receptor will interact with the antigen presented on the MHC1. Now this interaction of the T cell receptor and antigen will activate the T cell. I'm not going into the details of this activation because a lot of signals are involved, but for the sake of this question, I'm explaining this very briefly. Now, one of the major functions of this activated T lymphocyte, cytotoxic T lymphocyte, is the release of cytotoxins like perforin and granzyme, and cytokines like interferon gamma and TNF, among others. Interferon gamma activates macrophages. So this point is to be noted. So coming back to our statement, intracellular bacterial infections generally induce a cell-mediated immune response resulting in secretion of cytokines which activate macrophages. Now we have seen that it is a correct statement. This brings us to our correct combination of statements, that is A and D. Humoral immune response is the main protective response against extracellular bacteria, and intracellular bacterial infections generally induce a cell-mediated immune response resulting in secretion of cytokines which activate macrophages. Thank you.